welcome back to English for Specific Purposes Level A2. We are your hosts. I am Mr. Carter.
And I am Miss Sophie. Previously, we have discussed many different topics. We have talked about tourism, medicine, psychology, media, business, and the last time we have started talking about engineering. Today, we are going to continue that topic, but before that, let's look at our agenda together. As always, this lesson will start with a brief introduction. After that, we will learn new vocabulary, which will be followed by reading.
After reading, we will have a quick grammar activity, followed by a summary of the whole lesson. And finally, everyone's favorite, a little bit of homework.
გამარჯობა. მე სოფო ვარ, ეს კი მისტერ კარტერია. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოლაში. ჩვენ წინა გაკვეთილებზე ბევრი თემა მიმოვიხილეთ. დღეს კი ვისაუბრებთ ინჟინერიაზე. თუმცა ვიდრე უშუალოდ ინჟინერიაზე გადავიდოდეთ, როგორც ყოველთვის, მოდით ერთად გადავხედოთ დღევანდელი გაკვეთილის თემას. დღევანდელი დღე დაიწყება მოკლე შესწავლით, ამის შემდეგ შევისწავლით ახალ სიტყვებს, შემდეგ კი წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს ინჟინერიის შესახებ. ამის შემდეგ გვექნება გრამატიკული სავარჯიშოები, შემდეგ შევაჯამებთ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ ყველასათვის საყვარელი საშინაო დავალებით. Shall we start?
Let's begin.
Mr. Carter, can you please tell us what do engineers do?
Well, Miss Sophie, I know that engineers do many things, but the main thing that engineers do is make things and build things.
You are absolutely right. What different types of engineers do you know, Mr. Carter?
Well, Miss Sophie, I don't know all the types of engineers, but I know there are civil engineers and electronic engineers, and I think like space engineers for planes?
You might be right. Actually, in the following part in the vocabulary, we are going to learn about the different types of engineers.
That's cool.
Shall we start?
Definitely. Now, let's look at our first set of vocabulary words.
ახლა კი, როგორც კარტერმა თქვა, გადავიდეთ სიტყვების შესწავლაზე. Our first word is civil engineering. Civil engineering is a noun, and in Georgian it means სამოქალაქო ინჟინერია.
Civil engineering is the planning and building of roads, bridges, and buildings. Civil engineers are the people that help design cities.
They must be really helpful, right?
Definitely, Miss Sophie.
Civil engineering, სამოქალაქო ინჟინერია. Civil engineering, სამოქალაქო ინჟინერია. Civil engineering, სამოქალაქო ინჟინერია. Our next word is mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering is a noun as well, and in Georgian it means მანქანათმშენებლობა.
Mechanical engineers are the people that design and study machines. Most mechanical engineers work on very big machines, like oil drills in the middle of the ocean, or ships that cross the ocean, or anything that has to be big. Those are mechanical engineers.
Mechanical engineering, მანქანათმშენებლობა. Mechanical engineering, მანქანათმშენებლობა. Mechanical engineering, მანქანათმშენებლობა. Our next word is electrical engineering. Electrical engineering is a noun as well, and in Georgian it means ელექტრონული ინჟინერია.
Electrical engineering or electrical engineers are the people that design and study anything that has to do with electricity. So, electrical engineers are the people responsible for designing light bulbs and things of that nature. Anything that has to do with electricity is probably designed by an electrical engineer.
Electrical engineering, ელექტრონული ინჟინერია. Electrical engineering, ელექტრონული ინჟინერია. Electrical engineering, ელექტრონული ინჟინერია. Our next word is industrial engineering. Industrial engineering is a noun, and in Georgian it means სამრეწველო ინჟინერია.
Industrial engineers have a pretty cool job. Their job is to make machines that make machines. So, industrial engineers make machines that build cars or any other sort of machinery. Unlike electrical engineers, which make phones and other small things, industrial engineers make machines that make more machines.
That's very interesting, Mr. Carter. Industrial engineering, სამრეწველო ინჟინერია. Industrial engineering, სამრეწველო ინჟინერია. Industrial engineering, სამრეწველო ინჟინერია. Our next word is aeronautical engineering, and is a noun, and in Georgian it means საავიაციო ინჟინერია.
Aeronautical engineering is the type of engineering associated with space and aircraft. So, any sort of plane or spaceship is made by an aeronautical engineer.
Aeronautical engineering, საავიაციო ინჟინერია. Aeronautical engineering, საავიაციო ინჟინერია. Aeronautical engineering, საავიაციო ინჟინერია. Our next and the last word in this set of vocabulary is biomedical engineering. Biomedical engineering is a noun, and in Georgian it means biosamedicino inžinerija. Biomedical engineering is a very important word because it plays a very important role in our everyday life.
Exactly, Miss Sophie. Like Miss Sophie said, biomedical engineering is very important because it involves different sorts of fields, such as science, the medical field, and chemistry, as well as engineering. Biomedical engineers use chemistry and biology to help create new machines that they use in hospitals. So if you've ever been to a hospital and used something that helped you get better, it was probably made by a biomedical engineer.
Biomedical engineering, biosamedicino inžinerija. Biomedical engineering, biosamedicino inžinerija. Biomedical engineering, biosamedicino inžinerija.
Now, let's move on to our next activity in which we will match the words with the correct definitions that they fit.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ ლექსიკურ სავარჯიშოზე. ეკრანზე მოცემულია წინადადებები, რომლებიც წარმოადგენს სიტყვების განმარტებებს. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა მოვიფიქროთ ამ განმარტებებს, რომელი სიტყვა შეესაბამება ყველაზე უკეთ. Let's get started.
Let's begin.
Our first definition is the planning and the building of public roads, bridges, and buildings. Mr. Carter, I think this one is quite easy because you explained all the words. Do you remember which one is related to planning and building of public roads, bridges, and buildings?
Yes, I do, Miss Sophie, and this is the most common of all of the engineers. This is a civil engineering.
You are absolutely right. Civil engineering is the one that is related to planning and building of bridges, roads, and buildings. And our next definition is the study of the design and production of machines. Mr. Carter, production of machines, does this ring a bell?
Well, Miss Sophie, there are many categories of making machines, but the production of machines, I think, is going to be mechanical engineering.
You are absolutely right. Mechanical engineering is the one that we need here. Let's check, and yes, we are right. Let's see another definition. Primary field of engineering concerned with the development of aircrafts. I think there was one word that was related to airplanes, aircrafts. Which one was that?
This one is aeronautical engineering. So, aeronautical engineering is any type of engineering that has to do with planes or spacecraft.
You are absolutely right. Let's have a look at another definition. The business or study of designing and building electrical systems, especially those which power and control machines or are involved in communication. And the key word in this definition is electrical systems. Mr. Carter, what kind of engineering deals with electrical systems?
Well, Miss Sophie, it's pretty obvious. Like you said, the key word is electrical. So, I think it's going to be electrical engineering.
You are absolutely right, Mr. Carter. Electrical engineering is the right word for this one. Let's have a look at the next definition. The use of machines to manufacture products and the study of this?
Well, Miss Sophie, the use of machines to manufacture products. This means machines that make other machines or make products. This is industrial engineering.
You are absolutely right. Industrial engineering is the right word for this definition. Now let's look at the last definition, and probably the answer is quite obvious. However, let's still try to define it. A multidisciplinary field that combines biology and engineering, applying engineering principles and materials to medicine and healthcare. Medicine, healthcare, the answer is quite obvious, isn't it, Mr. Carter?
Yes, Miss Sophie, it definitely is, but it's still very important. Biomedical engineers are engineers that deal with vaccines, healthcare, or machines in hospitals, so it does lots of things.
So much needed nowadays.
Definitely. Now, let's move on to our second set of vocabulary related to the reading.
ახლა კი როგორც კარტერმა თქვა, გადავდივართ გაკვეთილის იმ ნაწილზე, სადაც შევისწავლით ახალ სიტყვებს. ეს ახალი სიტყვები უშუალოდ ტექსტიდან არის ამოკრეფილი. ისინი თქვენ დაგეხმარებათ ტექსტის უკეთ გააზრებაში. Shall we start?
Let's begin.
And our first word is research. Research is a noun, and in Georgian it means კვლევა.
Research is a detailed study of any particular subject. Doing research is what allows you to learn and grow and understand a topic. This can take place in any sort of field or subject of interest. Research is very important in learning, growing, and understanding whatever you care about.
Probably research plays a very important role in all fields of engineering.
Definitely, Miss Sophie.
Research, კვლევა. Research, კვლევა.
Research,
კვლევა. Our next word is solution. Solution is a noun, and in Georgian it means პრობლემის გადაჭრა.
Solution is very easy to understand. It is simply the answer to a problem. Anytime you have a problem, when you have a solution, it's been solved.
Solution, პრობლემის გადაჭრა. Solution, პრობლემის გადაჭრა.
Solution,
პრობლემის გადაჭრა. Our next word is a verb, and it is explore. In Georgian, it means შესწავლა ან გამოკვლევა.
Explore means to search and discover something new. Throughout our history, there have been many famous explorers whose job it was to go and find places that had never been seen before. Exploring is about discovering new things.
Explore, შესწავლა ან გამოკვლევა. Explore, შესწავლა ან გამოკვლევა.
Explore,
შესწავლა ან გამოკვლევა. Our next word is pollution. Pollution is a noun, and in Georgian it means დაბინძურება.
pollution is damage caused to the earth, water, or air that is harmful in any way. Pollution is never a good thing.
Definitely. This means that we might have air pollution, water pollution, right?
Exactly, Miss Sophie, and it can hurt plants and animals that live in those places.
As well as humans.
Definitely.
Pollution, დაბინძურება. Pollution, დაბინძურება. Pollution, დაბინძურება. Our next word is field. Field is noun, and in Georgian it means დარგი ან სფერო. I think we have talked about many fields of engineering, Mr. Carter, right?
Exactly, Miss Sophie. So a field is any area of study that interests you. So if you want to be an engineer, there are many different fields of engineering that you can choose from.
Definitely. Field, დარგი ან სფერო. Field, დარგი ან სფერო.
Field,
დარგი ან სფერო. Our next word is invent. Very important word.
Definitely.
Invent is a verb, and in Georgian it means გამოგონება.
Invent means to design or create something that has never existed before. So, as an engineer, your job is to try to invent new things for your field that makes the world a better, more efficient place.
Definitely. Remember that invent is a verb, but invention is a noun.
Good point, Miss Sophie.
Invent, გამოგონება. Invent, გამოგონება.
Invent.
გამოგონება. I believe this was the last word in this set of vocabulary.
I believe you are right, Miss Sophie. So now let's move on to our reading activity.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ კითხვის დავალებაზე. Mr. Carter, do you know any famous women engineers?
Yes, Miss Sophie, I do. My favorite famous female engineer is named Hedy Lamarr. She was an American, and during World War II, she discovered how to jam communication signals for the Axis forces. So she worked to build radios. Without her, there would probably be no Wi-Fi.
That's very interesting. Thank you for this wonderful story, Mr. Carter. Actually, some people think that engineering is a man's profession. However, there is no reason for this. Engineers are simply talented people who try to make our everyday life easier. In fact, research shows that women are the best problem solvers.
Engineers find solutions to the problems that are important to society. They try to solve the problem of pollution, develop new medicines, create new technologies, and help explore the world. They make the world a cleaner, safer, healthier place by inventing, building, and improving everything.
That's right. An engineer is really a clever, practical problem solver. Although the fields of engineering and science are connected, there are also differences. Scientists usually ask why a problem appears, whereas engineer will want to know how to solve the problem. So scientists build in order to learn, but engineers learn in order to build. Engineers work alone or in teams and in locations such as offices, factories, research fields, outdoors, and even in space. There are a lot of opportunities in a variety of engineering fields.
Now, let's move on to our true-false activity, in which we will look at a sentence and determine if it is true or false based on what we read in the text.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ კითხვის დავალებაზე. ამ დავალებაში ეკრანზე მოცემულია წინადადებები. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა გადავწყვიტოთ, ეს წინადადებები შეესაბამება თუ არ შეესაბამება ტექსტს. გახსოვდეთ, თუ წინადადება შეესაბამება ტექსტს, ამ შემთხვევაში ვამბობთ true, ხოლო თუ წინადადება არ შეესაბამება ტექსტს, ამ შემთხვევაში ვამბობთ false. Shall we begin?
Let's begin.
Our first sentence is, engineers make other people's lives easier. Mr. Carter, do you think this sentence is true or false?
Well, Miss Sophie, I think the sentence is true because engineers design and build things that help make people's lives easier, more efficient, healthier, and cleaner. So, in short, they make everyone's life easier because they build things that everyone can use.
You are absolutely right, Mr. Carter. This sentence is true. Let's have a look at the next sentence. Women are not good at problem solving. Mr. Carter, what do you think? Is this sentence true?
Well, Miss Sophie, according to the text, women are the best problem solvers.
You are absolutely right, Mr. Carter. Women are the best problem solvers, and this sentence is false. Our next sentence is, engineers find solutions to simple problems. Mr. Carter, what do you think? Is this sentence true or false?
Well, Miss Sophie, I know that engineers find solutions to many different kinds of problems, and simple problems are probably something that they do, right?
You are absolutely right, Mr. Carter, but we need to take into consideration that it's not only simple problems that they find solutions to, but also simple and difficult problems as well. Therefore, this sentence is false. And now let's look at the last sentence in this set of exercise. Engineers usually ask why a problem appears. What do you think, Mr. Carter? Is this sentence true or false?
Well, Miss Sophie, from what I remember from the text, engineers try to fix the problem and they don't ask why it appears. So, I would say this sentence is False.
And you are absolutely right, Mr. Carter.
Now, let's move on to our grammar section.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის ნაწილზე. In the grammar section, we have a sentence given. Engineers can solve problems important for the society. As you can see, can is highlighted. Can is highlighted because it shows the ability that someone can do something. Generally, in English language, we have two words, can and could, that show that someone has or doesn't have the ability to do something. It is very important to notice that can and could are followed by simple verb forms. For example, they can build machines. They could find a solution. In order to make questions out of these two words, we need to take modal auxiliary verb can or could plus subject plus the main verb. For example, can they solve the difficult problem? Could he invent the new machine? In order to form a negative sentence, we need to take subject plus modal auxiliary verb plus not plus the main verb. For example, they cannot solve the problem. On this table, you can see that in the first column, we had a present and a future ability. For example, civil engineers can build bridges. This sentence shows that civil engineers can do something in the present time, and also it might refer to the future. Could, on the other hand, refers to the past ability. For example, scientists could find the cure for a lot of illnesses. The negative forms for can and could are also given on the table. Civil engineers cannot or can't develop machines, and scientists could not or couldn't find the cure for cancer. Now it's time to move to the grammar exercise. On the screen you will see that there are given sentences. However, some of the words were taken out. We need to decide which one fits the best to the empty spots, can or could. And our first sentence is, I drive a car until I was 34. Then I moved to the countryside, so I had to learn. It is obvious that the right answer is I couldn't, because it refers to the past ability. I couldn't drive a car until I was 34, then I moved to the countryside, so I had to learn. Our next sentence is blank. Build bridges when you were 10. We see that this is a question, so we need a question form. The right answer is also related to the past because we are talking about the time when you were 10. So the right answer will be, could you build bridges when you were 10? Let's have a look at another sentence. He is amazing. He, blank, speak 5 languages, including Chinese. The right answer in this case is related to the present time. He's amazing because he can speak 5 languages, including Chinese. And our next sentence is, John, blank, design new buildings. He has won a lot of competitions. This one is also related to the present. John can design new buildings. He has won a lot of competitions. And our last sentence is, we, blank, solve this problem alone. We have to consult with the team leader. It's obvious that in this sentence we need a negation. We cannot solve this problem alone. We have to consult with the team leader.
And now it's time to move on to our summary. We started out with vocabulary. After that, we moved on to reading comprehension that had to do with engineers and the different fields of engineers. And after that, we had a grammar lesson talking about can or could.
მოდით ერთად შევაჯამოთ დღევანდელი გაკვეთილი. დღეს ჩვენ შევისწავლეთ ახალი სიტყვები, წავიკითხეთ ტექსტი, ხოლო შემდეგ კი ვისაუბრეთ გრამატიკაზე. ახლა კი დროა გადავიდეთ საშინაო დავალებაზე. For your homework, we would like you to write a paragraph about a famous woman engineer. You need to upload your homework on the address given on the screen, and we have created a template for you, but please do not copy-paste. We know you can do better than that. Do not forget to use vocabulary and the grammar that we have taught you today. See you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.